Welcome from Las Vegas, Nevada, the host city of NAB 2014. We're here on the 45th floor of the Trump International Hotel. This is Cinema 5D on the Couch, presented by B&H, the professionals source, Vitech Videocom, Tools on Air, and Zeiss.
Welcome to the second episode of Cinema 5D on the Couch. Today we have some distinguished guests, other bloggers that you might know. That's Joe Marine and Ryan Koo from NoFilmSchool, and Philip Broom from Philip Broom.
Broom.com.
From Philip Broom.
Is this your casting couch?
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God, what is casting couch?
So NAB 2014 has started. We have been swept with tons of new cameras today. Really, literally, how many did we count? I think I lost count at 5.
Too many. That's not many to count.
I think 5.
You're not get to 10 yet.
Well, I'm only talking about the large sensor ones, so yeah. We have new cameras, 2 new cameras from Blackmagic Design, like 3. Every year.
Isn't it 3?
Yes.
It's 2.
Is it 3?
It's 3.
It's 2.
It's like 4 and then 1. So they've got the one that's 4 different cameras in one.
That's confusing. 4 in 1.
And we got the A7S.
Like Russian dolls.
Yeah.
The A7S by Sony, which is their 4K version of the A7R, small mirrorless camera. And then we have the AJA camera, the Scion. And then we have, what else do we have? Panasonic Varicam.
Right.
That's already been announced though, hasn't it?
It's been announced as a mock-up last year.
I saw the one that was, you can take off the head unit, and that's the same one, isn't it?
Is it? No, I don't think it.
They slightly redesigned it, I think.
I saw it on NoFilmSchool.
Yeah, we posted about the new one.
Don't believe what you read.
Yeah, but I saw
pictures.
I saw something about. Yeah, I saw something about with the removable.
Yes.
Yeah, back to it.
And I think the last of the large sensor new cameras is a JVC, right? JVC announced 3 new cameras with a larger sensor. Yeah.
Really? What, Super 35?
Yep.
I haven't had a chance to see it.
Which they usually don't. I feel like
That's
they're usually
pretty impressive because they've always been 3rd inch.
Yeah.
Right.
And they had that crazy 4K which
Well,
recorded on 4 SDs.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And they had the one thing that they only were releasing in Japan.
Right.
The camera they announced a while ago that was only a Japan camera, I think, right?
Well, I saw something today that nobody, I think, blogged about yet, or I didn't see it yet, is a little brain with a very small unit with I think it's a Super 35mm sensor and a Micro Four Thirds mount with a cable going to a
Super
separate
35
recorder.
with Micro Four Thirds?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I asked the guy and he couldn't explain it to me.
They made a bit of a screw up there.
It's not covering the
Not
sensor.
promising.
Yeah, but anyway, they claim it's perfect for aerial stuff. So they want you to put it in a drone or something because it's a really small unit.
It's tiny, is it?
It's tiny with a cable. It's 5-meter cable. You can have an optional 20-meter cable to a recorder unit, which is like this big. It's like with a screen on top.
You've seen Atomus is a little recorder, which they're saying is great for putting on quad and octocopters and stuff. I know. I think the only safe one of those is like those big transmitter things that DJI do, so it beams it back. That's much safer because it's going to crash. I crash every time I take it off.
Yeah, you've gotten into flying drones recently.
Well,
right?
drones. Can't call them drones because they'll arrest you. You call them, it's a toy. You say it's a toy, and you'll be fine. Look at the quadcopter and multi-rotor, the official term. It's been so much fun.
Drone is a scary word.
It is
a little scary.
Yeah.
It is. It's like gonna target and drop a bomb.
Yeah.
Not that.
Or a
nice.
war if you're
I haven't done one of those
similar.
yet. That come out yet? No.
So let's talk about the DJI Phantom 2 Plus.
Vision
Right?
Plus.
Vision
I've been
Plus.
trying that for the past couple of weeks.
Is it good?
Yeah, I mean, what's good? I've only been flying briefly since February, so not much. And the first one I had was the original Vision, and it's built-in camera, and it's controlled via. You still got the same controller, but you get an image on the iPhone or Android through the app, and that's very cool. It's just the camera it's just got a couple of. It's got 4 rubber grommets, so the stabilisation doesn't exist. So it's fine for stills, but it's no good for video. So then I got one with the Zen Muse for the GoPro, and that's brilliant. But then you want to see the image, you have to buy more stuff. And you want to see telemetry, you've got to get more stuff.
Yeah.
Ends up with like 4 different battery chargers and all sorts of stuff, and cables coming out of it. But it's great because the GoPro image is fantastic at 2.7K. So this new one is with a 3-axis gimbal, the same camera as the Vision, so it's way better. It's a fantastic, neat system, it's just the camera's not good enough. Simple as that. So they put a better camera in it. That is the best system. I was like 500 meters away, and I was still getting a strong Wi-Fi image coming through.
Don't they sell it without the camera, so you can just add the
Yeah,
GoPro?
they do. The Phantom 2, normal Phantom 2.
But without the gimbal?
You can buy the Phantom 2 with the GoPro gimbal.
Oh, okay.
And they're also doing one for the new Sony action camera. But it's so neat. The new one is so neat. I broke it. I crashed it into a mountain twice.
When did it broke the first time or the second time?
I've crashed it a few. I actually know what I'm doing now. You've got to crash it. Look, I'm not going to buy something, put an Epic on it and fly that, because I'd rather crash a cheaper thing and with a GoPro than anything expensive. And I've got a fantastic collection of crashes because it records it all. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's so much fun. But yeah.
Can you see yourself ever putting a DSLR or more expensive
No,
camera on one of those?
No, it's the whole concept is ridiculous for me. You hire a professional who knows what they're doing, and it's their camera, their insurance, their quad, multi-quad, whatever it is, and that's so much more. It's like Steadicam. I'm not going to use Steadicam myself. I'll be a Steadicam guy.
I bought the first Phantom, and my only flight so far was in the office. I crashed Sebastian's frame. It just fell over, and I I landed, and that was it.
Inside.
Indoors.
Indoors.
The whole point is it's got the GPS. That when you wait for the lock, it takes off and it just sits there.
Yeah,
brilliant.
It didn't do that.
No, because you're inside.
I know. Yeah, that's when I stopped.
You should have taken it outside.
Anyway, I'm not allowed to do it anymore because in Austria they declared all these things illegal without a special permission. So I need to get a permission for each flying thing now. So which doesn't make sense. I just hire someone. And there's only a handful of people who got the permission so far. So.
It's quite easy in England. It's a 2-day course to get certified.
Yeah.
It's worth doing for safety reasons, to be honest with you. Joking aside, it's worth doing just so you know everything. And most important thing is get indemnity insurance too. So you're covered if something happens. And there's actually a collective, I can't remember the website name, I have to find it. And you don't have to pay much, like £25 for 6 months, and it gives you multi-million-pound public indemnity. It's just group thing. You've got to have that because they're everywhere. They're going to be everywhere soon, and all it's going to take is that one big thing that's good. I mean, there was something yesterday in Australia where an Octo crashed into a triathlete or something. It's funny. The pilot saying he must have been hacked because he never crashes it. Who's going to hack? It's ridiculous.
But that's quite horrid videos, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's that one in New York was terrifying, wasn't it? Where the guy took off from his balcony and then just repeatedly banged into that building.
Yeah.
Dude, that's not a good place to do
That's not
that.
a place to fly.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Did you see that one video where the drone flew into a wedding couple where they wanted to do a cool shot and it was supposed to lift off just in front of them? It just crashed into the couple.
The thing is, they are
very dynamic.
It's fantastic. I've got an action film coming up that I'm shooting, and we've got a helicopter, and the director wants to do these helicopter shots and blah, 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 blah. And I said, no, we're using it for the character to be in it, and we should fly it. We should bring in an octocopter and fly the Epic on it. And because what's so good about it, you can't do with a helicopter, is you start off, you can do a top down, really high up, and then you come down, and then you can right down to ground level and follow the actors running. You can't do that in any other way. That sort of cinematic movement is unique. And I actually was doing those sort of shots yesterday, playing around at Red Rock Canyon, going up high and trying to replicate them myself, and I'm not good, but I was able to get it, that sort of thing. I wouldn't trust myself with anything expensive, as I said, but it's something fun. And
So is camera movement one of the trends of NAB 2014? Is there any trend that we can make out? Like last year it was the Movi, which was new. Now we have all the copycats, I guess.
Yeah.
We saw them last year at IBC in Amsterdam, but in America it's the first time that you see all the copies here.
There's a lot now, isn't there? The DJI have got their own one, and then there's they are everywhere.
Everybody has.
They
one.
passed
Everybody
me.
has one.
They
Everybody
passed
has
me there. One, I can't remember. It's called Shogun, or something like that. And they had the Epic on it.
Oh yeah.
And oh my god! They gave it to me and went, "Can you take it off me?" It's so heavy.
Yeah.
So heavy.
So is there
doesn't Free Fly, the Mobi makers, don't they have the vehicle one as well? It's like a Mobi on a little
Oh, do
RC
they?
control.
Really? I didn't see that.
So definitely movement.
Yeah.
Whether it's air, land. I didn't see any sea.
Movement's
any
great for
ocean.
No, I don't
ocean
think so.
camera movement.
The movements are great for when you need it.
Yeah.
There's a time for moving the camera, and there's a time
Yeah.
for just not. You just have to look at. I mean, Wes Anderson's one of my favourite filmmakers because he has movement, and then he has also his movement's always his long dolly shots and that sort of thing. But there's loads of just static shots and things like that. It doesn't need to just move for movement's sake. It should always be driven by something.
Yeah.
That was always the big thing, though, right? With like low budget stuff, that you had no movement, right? Or the movement didn't look great because you were like putting the stuff together yourself for no money. But now, for not that much money, you can get
That's
a
true.
lot of movement.
Yeah, only 5 years ago we didn't even have sliders.
Right,
Right.
I mean, we had to hire
Yeah,
dollars.
Exactly.
I had a glide track 6 years ago.
Well, I did have one, but I wasn't happy with it. So.
But there was always nothing worse than a low budget film that was trying to do high budget camera moves.
And it looks bad.
And it looks bad.
Right.
So at least now I guess you can get that look.
And also, I
without
think
much money.
4K helps because even if you don't have a proper stabilization, it's much easier to stabilize stuff in post.
Yeah, but warp stabilize is good to a point, but
Yeah.
you can always tell.
Yeah.
Generally.
You can tell.
I mean, the thing is, with all these things, it's the key thing is use it for the right reasons, not to find ways to use it.
Right.
That's the wrong
Exactly.
way. It's the other way
Exactly.
around.
Yeah.
Like doing something like, actually, if we use Mobi, this would be so much easier,
Right,
or
right.
something like that. Rather than we've got Mobi, so how can
Because
we use
we
it?
can.
Let's do a 15-minute one shot.
Yeah.
Fine.
Well, actually, I
Yeah.
did that. We did a short
yours
film.
was nice. Your what? The bottle, the Christmas.
Oh, that
thing.
one too. Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Well, was that actually one
It
shot?
was
or did
4
you,
shots or
yeah,
5
you,
shots
you did
actually,
some nice wipes
with
and
hidden
stuff.
edits.
Yeah, it was good.
That's the way to do it.
But yeah, I mean, so movement is one of the trends. The other trend is definitely still 4K. I think 2 years ago they tried to push 3D massively, and it didn't really catch
Right.
on. It was
Thankfully.
dead by last year, I think.
Thankfully, it's, yeah.
So 4K was a new 3D last year, but it's. I think this is gonna stay. What do you think?
Well,
I mean,
every camera that was announced said
Right.
it was 4K.
It's 4K. Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Not the little Canons, are the 205s? They're not 4K, are
Just a
they?
new Canon?
but the full frame one. I mean, the
Yeah, they're
Super
like
35 ones.
The
third inch.
replacement, or was it the
Third
new
inch.
305
Yeah, the third inch
thingies?
ones,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean 4K. I mean, you've shot 4K. It is a fantastic acquisition tool. It really is. It's as a finishing tool.
That's where the challenge is, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I shot my short on a 5K Epic, and then we went to a Quantel and down res to 2K DPX, and then we were punching in on 2K files, and I said, why
Ouch.
can't we go back to the original 5K
Right.
files and
Yeah.
do so much more resolution, because the post workflow still isn't there.
It's got better. I mean, I shoot all my personal stuff, all my personal projects in 4K. Whether I end up mastering with 4K or not depends on what it is. If it's a documentary, rarely, because I use that 4K resolution for interviews, and it's a joy.
But
Absolute
personal
joy.
stuff is actually more agile.
It's easier.
Like
you can do it
Premiere
yourself.
Pro will come out with 4K, and you can
Yeah.
do it, but some huge post house can't.
Post house is
because
terrible.
they're behind
Yeah,
on that
right.
kind of stuff.
There's one. I
Right.
mean, one of the, my business partner James, he did a big documentary for one of the networks and in HD, and they edited at 15:1 compression.
Wow.
This was the end of last year. 15:1.
yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. There's so many horror stories with post houses who are just so behind
Yeah.
the times.
I
That,
had to deliver
Yeah.
on HD cam
yeah, I mean, just
from an Epic shoot.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
My favourite
Yeah.
is shooting on DV and delivering on Digibeta. You give them the DV10 and say, no, we need Digibeta. And you go back and you put on Digibeta and give it to them. That's much better quality, thank you.
right, yeah.
Right.
Thank
Quality's not good enough on DV,
Right.
put on Digibeta.
Right.
Well, it isn't just data at 4K. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're talking about hundreds or
Yeah.
maybe even thousands of hours of footage, it's
Right.
just not
It just, yeah,
in most of our.
Right. No. Right.
it's fine if you've got shares in Hitachi or G-Tech type stuff, because it's
Yeah.
it's impossible. It's got impossible. I've been shooting with the Convergent Design Odyssey 7Q for a bit, and I was horrified at how much data I was eating up.
Uncompressed.
Uncompressed Cinema D&G, and it was I was shooting at 50p 4K, and I got 12 minutes and a half terabyte. So if you go 24p 25p, you get double that. But I worked.
Imagine shooting a whole feature.
Oh, you couldn't.
at
It's certainly,
that.
and it's
Tough.
well. I think it's for commercials
Yeah.
you could probably get away with it.
Yeah.
For documentaries, it's in no way.
Yep.
Yeah.
I added up how much it would cost to have 5 hours of media, just 5 hours, which is what I would generally have. And all of these cameras, like the F55, the SBS, the SBS Pro Pluses are the same price as the XS half terabytes, 128 gigs. It's crazy. Everything
Wow.
was like $10,000 plus just for 5 hours of media.
So can we see post-production stuff catching on with the cameras by now? I think it's better than last year, but it's still a stretch, right?
The best
I mean,
format I've ever edited, worked with in RAW has been R3Ds.
Yeah, compressed raw.
That's still
Compressed
their-
raw,
that's their-
because it's
still their thing. Is
Yeah, it's
really
still
high
their advantage.
resolution.
You
over
choose how
everybody.
much you want to compress it.
Right.
It
Yeah.
works for you, and it's great.
Yeah.
It's much better.
And it plays back.
We don't need uncompressed. We never needed uncompressed.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, nobody actually uses. I mean, the funny thing is now you have the cheap 4K cameras shooting RAW, and the more expensive ones having a good 4K codec, like the F55 with the XAVC 4K,
Which is good, yeah.
versus the F5, which is now getting more and more features. And I think they announced you can actually upgrade the
Yeah.
F5
It's
to
do you think
become
they're going to
an
let you?
F55.
Do they come and
you
spray
can.
your lens
Yeah.
mount silver when you do it as well?
Do
That's the only thing that looks
they
different.
swap the
It's
sensor?
software.
It's
software.
just software?
It's all software. Yeah.
So you even get the
The ProRes, though, I
So
thought
why
it was
was
going
it
to be a
cheaper
hardware
if
upgrade.
it's the same camera?
Yep.
It's the same camera. It's basically you're paying for features that
For
aren't.
codecs?
No, it's all the internal recording for 4K
Right.
and stuff.
But I think
Well,
So
no,
Joey's
isn't it-
right.
no, but the
Actually, it would
F55
cost
though,
more
Yeah.
the
than
F55 though
manufacturer.
is the global shutter.
no, it's the same.
sensor.
But what
the
about the-
global shutter.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
So-
That's it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what it doesn't
So
have.
that's the whole different processing.
That's a
and
big
sensor stuff.
big difference between
So how do you
the-
upgrade that?
But you're right. I mean, they said
must
for
be
the
flexible,
ProRes upgrade
It's
that you will
hardware.
have for the F55 will be a hardware upgrade.
Yeah.
They need to
Yeah.
put in a special processor for
But it's
it.
the same. They take your camera and just slap it in there. I'm
Just they're
assuming.
lying. I don't,
No, but it's not. It's literally
Yeah.
new hardware board or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's a brilliant thing because it actually gives people a path if they
Yeah.
can't quite
It's like
afford
Red.
the 55. Yeah, and I think that's great because honestly, the F5 up to that point right now it makes no sense to me because it doesn't have the 4K internal. If you want 4K, you have to shoot the RAW, and then
Right.
it becomes horrible.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the funny thing. I mean, the cheaper camera shoots raw 4K, and the more expensive one shoots the codec, which should be like the other way around because the people
Right.
who can afford to deal with 4K raw
Right.
can afford the more expensive
Right.
camera.
They don't expect you to shoot RAW. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They expect you
Yeah.
to just shoot. It's there if you
It's
want
something to
it.
put on a spec sheet
Yeah.
to say you do
You,
it.
you can rent it in. You can rent in the
Yeah.
R5.
I
and
shot a
record it.
lot of stuff on the F5, F55 last year, and all of it was full HD or 2K max. I mean, one test music video we shot on the F55 and 4K,
Yeah.
but all the other stuff for
The
TV,
XAVC
they
is
just
great.
want me to deliver 1080p.
40
Yeah.
minutes for 128 gigs in 4K is actually quite nice, which is what the XAVC is, and it's the most efficient thing I've shot 4K with. It's actually, I don't have to walk around or have like 4 or 5, 8 terabyte Thunderbolt drives with me.
How is it to edit?
On the Mac Pro, it's like butter.
Mm.
It's fantastic. On my MacBook Pro, it works. It's fine. It's getting better with the new version of CC. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So it's doable. It's a 200. What is it for 4K? 400 megabits per second. Is that right? Because 100 for the HD, isn't it?
I don't know,
I
maybe.
think so. Something like that.
Yeah.
It's not. It's doable. It's doable.
So today or yesterday, actually, we saw Sony announce the A7S that we mentioned before. We had the presentations today, and the light sensitivity is quite amazing on this camera. So what do you think? I mean, it's almost finally, you have a proper codec in a small. I mean, it's only outputting 4K. You can't record internally, but it's XAVC-S, so it's not AVC HD anymore, which the A7R has. So where is this all leading? I mean, they showed us a comparison between A7S and 5D Mark III with low light sensitivity that they shot here in Vegas, which was quite amazing. And to me, it almost looks like you don't really need the big cameras anymore if you have an external recorders with these ones, apart from ergonomics and all that kind of stuff. But it's really amazing what these, even the big manufacturers now realize that they have to release cheap, inexpensive 4K cameras to keep up with the new boys on the block
Right.
like Blackmagic and AJA.
Right.
Why
Well,
do
yeah.
why do you want a big camera though? I mean, it's like I was doing a thing with on Teradek thingy today, and Garrett Brown was sat next to me, and he was saying, "Why do you want a big camera? You want a small camera. It gives you freedom. This is what you want." And he was like, "He's fantastic. I want a camera like this big."
Yeah. I think
there's a right size. I think there's a
Size is important.
Yeah. If there's a right balance, I think, between too big and too small for certain stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
not having to rig something up, I think.
But you
Yeah,
can
it's
always
really
make
helpful.
something bigger. You
That's
cannot
true.
make it smaller.
That's true,
Yeah,
but
but-
you can always use other cameras if that's a situation
Right.
where.
Yeah.
So now we're at a point where you can use multiple cameras on the same project
Yeah.
when you need a small one to be small, and when you don't want to rig it up, you can just use that.
Like I
Exactly.
see the
Yeah.
appeal of the Amira, something you can just pick up
Right.
and shoot with,
Right.
versus on my short we had an Epic. Takes half an hour to build that
Yeah,
thing the way
right.
you want it, and you got to balance it. And,
Yeah.
when time is money, that's a concern, and that
Right.
only happens when you have a smaller camera that needs
Right.
300 things attached to it to do what you want.
The interesting thing about though the A7R and the S is that viewfinder. It's so good, and you can shoot like you're shooting stills, but video, and that is. I mean, obviously not if you're shooting 4K. You've got to have the recorder on top of it, but it is small, and it's filming certainly for a lot of the docs I shoot. It's filming in places you could not get away
So
with it. I mean,
I wasn't at the presentation. Is it an optical viewfinder?
No,
or
it's
is it just really high
no,
resolution?
it's their OLED EVF. It's
Yeah,
exceptionally
it's
good.
really good.
What's the resolution of it?
I think it's 720p.
Yeah,
Okay.
it just looks, the pixel pitch is so tiny, it looks so good. And it's just really nice. I mean, the thing is, by how the Exxon recorder kills it in a way, for that, if you want to do anything
True.
4K, but I mean, they can't, the reason they haven't put 4K internally is they'd have to redesign the whole camera because it would need a fan
Right.
and everything to
Yeah.
keep it cool.
Right, and you couldn't just record to regular SD cards either.
You
right?
could,
Yeah.
you could.
Could you?
Yeah,
Well, if
if-
they compress it enough. I
Yeah, because
guess,
it's if XAVC, if they did a 4K XAVCS for
They
it,
did a low enough bit of it,
it's
yeah.
only be 200
Right.
megabits
It's
a
the
second.
processing power.
Right.
though.
Yeah, because the 1DC was like 400, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's doable,
Yeah.
and that's on compact flash, but there's really fast.
But that's
SD
for the
cards.
1DC. They decided to use a codec which is really not, processing intensive.
No.
That's why it's so big,
Mm.
because it's motion JPEG. You
Right.
end up having twice as much data as on the F55 with the XAVC codec, but only 8-bit instead of 10. So you end up having twice as big files for less quality.
Mm.
Yeah. But at least you're able to record it internally. But because the funny thing is, Sony said that Atomus said that they developed their, what is it called, Shogun,
Yes.
Yeah.
together
those
with
names,
Sony for the A7S.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's not, it doesn't fit the camera. It's
Well,
just a
it's
huge
right. Well,
device
it's
on a
huge
small
monitor.
It's a
camera.
7-inch
Right,
screen,
yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Which is lovely, though.
It is lovely, but it's too big for this kind of camera.
Mhm.
Yeah. You want their little one as a 4K recorder, a tiny little
Right.
thing. That would be great. Because if it could just plug in and you have that EVF. But the key thing is that
The
confidence.
Samurai?
No, they've got their tiny one they announced
Oh, the
as
new
well,
one.
yeah.
It's like a hyperdeck shell, basically. So
Yeah.
it's similar.
But you don't have the confidence check with it, so you have to run a monitor
Mhm.
through it.
Right.
You just have to hope it's recording it.
So let's move on to Blackmagic. 2 more cameras from Blackmagic.
What was it for?
Yeah, well, the Ursa is like multi-camera.
What's it called?
Ursa.
How'd you spell it?
URSA.
Why?
So why is it multiple?
I asked them,
I don't
they
remember
couldn't tell me why.
Someone posted an answer somewhere. I thought I saw, but I don't know.
Oh,
why.
yeah. Yeah.
That's the name of the Kryptonian girl villain in Superman.
Isn't it?
That's
Isn't
Ursula,
it also
right?
a
No, it's
Bond
Ursa-
girl?
it's Ursa.
Wasn't a Bond girl named Ursula?
No, it's Ursula Andress, the
Yeah.
actress. But Ursa is the name, the evil woman in Superman 2.
Yeah.
General Zod's sidekick. It's before your time. See, look it up. That's his name.
Did they just bring back General Zod in the new one?
They did. Then Superman killed him. Superman's not
Michael
supposed.
Shannon.
Yeah, Superman's not
Yeah,
supposed to
that's
kill.
right.
He broke his neck. Sorry,
my
spoiler.
paycheck.
Sorry, should have warned that.
So what about the Ursa? Is it
Ursa.
like Ursa? Is it the same as the Blackmagic 4K or in a
I haven't
different
seen
form
I think it's
factor?
gotta have the same sensor
Same-
because
same-
they said
yeah,
that the
same-
sensor's upgradable
well, the
and
sensor-
it's 12
yeah.
stops.
It's the
So I think
same-
they have like the higher end camera with a sensor that maybe isn't caught up to you know,
Right.
the Alexa or something, but then you can swap it out later when they come
Right.
out with something better.
Right.
And
So
Yeah.
it looks, to me, it looks like the red one. A little
Stu
bit.
Maschwitz has
Like-
put out a great tweet today. Perfect. He went, Blackmagic have released a camera that looks like a camera.
Yeah, it is the
true.
first
Imagine
time.
It does
though.
look like a
It
camera.
does,
Yeah.
except for the fact that you have a laptop screen.
Exactly.
That folds
True,
to the
that folds
side,
out,
which
yeah.
is huge.
I wonder
Is
what
it
it looks
touchscreen?
like when you have that
It's not a
thing.
the big one isn't a touchscreen. The other, there's 2 other 5-inch
The
screens.
touchscreen would be cool. You could play like the Walking Dead game, which is great fun if you get bored on shoots.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Or
yeah.
boring interviews.
Yeah.
They couldn't confirm it to me, but to me it looks like they literally took the screen of the iPad.
I'm
They,
sure.
they wouldn't have
That
got.
was
They
an
would have
edge.
got. They would have got an Android, a cheaper
Yeah.
Android panel, not
No,
an expensive
the
Retina.
but it is the same exact size.
Because the Retina screen
Yeah.
is really
Yeah.
color accurate.
Yeah.
Is it 2K?
It's 1920 by
It's
1200, I think.
Yeah, it's 90/20,
It's
but
a little bit less
I
than
mean, it's
that,
like
that's
it's like the Atomus's Shogun because that is a tablet screen,
Right.
and it's like we've been waiting.
they
for this
can
for
get it
ages.
cheaper, I guess.
Why we have these amazing tablet screens, and yet
Mhm.
we're suffering with 720. If we're
Well, I
lucky,
think because they have to buy so many.
Economies of scale.
Yeah, they buy so
Yeah.
many of them at once that they can do it
it's,
cheaper
it's
than.
great now. We
yeah.
actually,
I
it's
can
actually
imagine that
happening.
being on the side of your camera, though.
well, you
Yeah,
should
you
check
mean
it
being
out.
able to get
It's-
No, it's if it's on your shoulder, I can't really. You can't really. Yeah, you can't really shoot with it when
No,
it's on your shoulder.
that's a
But
tr-
when it's
yeah.
on a tripod,
Yeah.
it's really nice. to
Focus
have
pullers
that.
would love it.
Oh yeah.
It is a very
absolutely.
good, very accurate screen. I tried it
Yes.
today, but on the shoulder it wouldn't work.
No.
And
Yeah.
That's
you,
what EVFs are for.
yeah, you
Right.
have
Yeah.
you have to use a EVF. with
Right.
it, yeah.
The whole point
Absolutely.
is you've got to be in with that image. As soon as you have separation,
And it's got XLRs and everything, right?
Yes.
It
yes.
does.
That's the
Yes.
big.
Does it
That's
have,
the
does it
big
have
thing for
preamps too?
Blackmagic.
Good preamps.
It
Who
has
knows? I don't
it has
know.
XLRs and it has actually audio monitoring
Yes.
The
inside.
big
Right in the
question
outside.
though, does it let you delete clips, format clips, and does it have meters?
It had meters in the.
It has meters.
Yes, it has meters.
But on the right hand side, so you can't see them
Oh, that's true,
as an
you can't see
operator.
them.
That's okay.
Right,
You've got
right,
the first AC for that.
Exactly.
That's true.
That's really what they're making it for.
They're
It's not-
designing it for
yeah,
like a
right,
real cinema.
Right. Right. where you
and
have
it-
a crew.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you
And
can
it
get
has-
a rig with mirrors or something.
So this camera has
See what's
3
going
built-in
on.
screens. The big
Three?
three,
Three.
three 10-inch
This
Full
one
HD
and two
display,
others.
and then 2 800 by 480 screens on like one on either side.
Right.
I've got to look at this. This sounds kind of crazy.
It is
It's like the 2 Blackmagic Cinema screens on like either side.
Oh, so you got loads of mirrors to check how you're looking.
Exactly.
It's basically for the talent to check how
Right,
you're looking.
exactly.
Because it is a great mirror, that screen.
Yeah.
That's interesting. How much do you know the price of it at all?
I think it's 5 or
6,000.
6
It's 6,000. It's 6,000
PL
for the EF
Oh.
Ursa, and it's 6,500 for the PL.
PL mount.
Is it, you have to choose, like the Canon
Yep.
C100s?
Yes, but they're
That's-
going to sell them separately at
Oh,
some
so-
point.
oh,
That's
you-
their
it
idea.
is
that-
remo- it is
so here's what it
removable.
is. Yeah, it's you've got
That's
4.
good.
You've got 4 like Allen screws
So-
that pull out.
So it's
and
more
then-
like,
red.
Yeah.
like a bit like
So
a,
red.
a
The
clunkier
difference,
red
though-
or
right, but the
F55.
difference though is that the sensor and the mount are one. So the
Oh.
back focus is already set. So
the
that's
sensor and the mount is one.
one thing. So you replace that whole thing. So
Sounds a bit like, as a stills camera, Ricoh, R-I-C-O-H.
Yeah.
Each of the lenses
Right.
that you could get with it had a different sensor in it, which was kind of weird.
Yeah.
That sounds bizarre. Different sensors. That sounds expensive.
Well, you could buy the EF one, and then when they come out with a better
right,
sensor, you get the PL.
right.
Well,
I mean, I think probably part of it is probably they didn't want to worry about fixing the back focus and all that stuff.
sounds an expensive way of doing it. But the good thing, it sounds upgradable though. It sounds like if they get better sensors, they can
Yeah.
you can swap it
Well, I
out.
think they're saying it might be like 1,500 for a new block, whole sensor block with.
But didn't Red say that in the beginning of the Red one? I mean, the whole selling point was that you
Yeah,
have
that
a
was their
swappable
idea.
sensor, and I mean, to
Right.
be
And
fair,
you
it is
MS.
possible to swap it, but it's very expensive, and you have to send it in, and it's
Right.
literally
Oh,
you
yeah.
pay almost like
Right. Well,
half of the new camera.
yeah, the
That's
brains
true.
themselves were supposed to be really cheap, just to be.
And then
replaceable.
it never materialized.
No.
I think
mean,
reality is they realised they could make it better if they did it. I would guess it's better to do it properly than do it half-assed.
Right.
Which is like,
Yeah.
and I think they decided that. They realised
Yeah.
it was a better solution to do it properly.
because it's not only the sensor that ages, it's all the electronics and everything
Absolutely.
that needs upgrading at some point, at least,
Right.
and you better
I mean, there's CPUs
monitor
in
and
there,
everything.
just like
Right.
yeah,
the Mac Pro, and everything comes out so
Right.
much faster.
not fast enough to
Yeah, because
process.
you'll have a sensor like the Blackmagic, which is, what is it, 400 native sensor, the 4K?
It's around there. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
around there.
so yet you'll have, and it can't go past that. And yet you'll have
Yeah.
something like the Sony A7S, which I asked them, they couldn't tell me, but
Yeah.
they thought it was 100. I don't think it is 100. But it's
Oh,
not.
base ISO.
Base
Yeah,
ISO.
so those sensors are weird. So it's like with the red sensor is like a native like 250 ISO.
Yeah.
The Dragon is like a native 250, but just because it's so clean, you can push it that
That's the
far.
key thing. You can't
Yeah.
push a Blackmagic past its native, the 4K.
Right.
And yet you can take a camera like the A7S and you can
Just
push
keep
it,
going. Right.
10 stops past
Right,
its native.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows you that it's a
right.
lot of most of it is actually the processing
Right.
as well.
Yeah,
And Sony's been doing it forever. So
Yeah, they
They're good
they
at
got
that.
a little bit
they
of
know
head
what they're
start.
doing, right?
I didn't get a straight answer from Sony when I asked about the native sensitivity of the A7S because they couldn't tell me. He told me
I
it's
said,
like
I asked the same question. They couldn't. Yeah.
he said it's as clean at 100,000 ISO as it is at 100.
No, they
Something
said
like
it's, there's, and I kind of got the same answer because I asked them because I wanted to know that. They said I think it was like 1 or 2 stops below that, 25,000 or something.
That's not bad though.
Yeah. I mean, unless you take it the other way around, the negative way, it's really bloody noisy at 25,000, and it's just as noisy at 100. It probably isn't that, but it's
Right.
like it's a
looked
document.
pretty clean.
In that sort of, it's all right. It's if you absolutely have to get the shot.
Yep.
Stills guys are going to like it. Sports guys are going to like it. Not that necessarily that high, but they'll be able to shoot very high shutter speed with not that much light, so they'll be able to capture those moments, which normally they can't.
That's huge. Yeah.
But back to Blackmagic, there's one more camera. They have
Yes.
the Studio.
camera. Yeah.
Wasn't the old one called Studio?
That was
No.
the production camera.
Yeah,
that was
Production.
calling
Okay,
it.
Studio.
Yeah.
So the Studio camera looks like an iPad with a lens attached.
Yeah.
What's the what our hashtag's going to be for it? I get so confused because they have the BMCC, the BMPC, the BMPPC.
Yeah, I don't.
The
Ursa.
the
iPad-
the
the
BM
iPad
Blackmagic U
Yours.
U4. I don't
So
know.
is-
what's
I
it
lost
mean?
track
Is this
at the
one that's
pocket
4?
camera.
No, the Ursa. So the Ursa is sort of like 4 cameras.
BMD Ursa,
Where
that's
it's got-
easy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the Ursa has the EF mount, PL mount. They're coming out with a a B4 mount with. I think it's going to be a different sensor though.
Sounds schizophrenic.
So they're saying, and then they have a different thing, which is an HDMI recorder that's the size of that thing. So you
Okay.
can stick a camera on it. So like you could record
HDMI.
out of like a yeah.
Why HDMI?
I don't know. Because so you can stick like a 5D. They've shown pictures of it where you can, and actually they have it at their booth. It's like you could put a 5D like on the front of it, and that's your camera.
I gotta look at it.
So their studio camera is only SDI out. It doesn't record internally. It has a 1-inch sensor. I think it would be perfect for the setup we're running here, because we have a lot of Blackmagic hardware in use here, and are going through SDI into a computer for a live edit. So that would be a good application, I guess, and that's what it's meant for.
Yeah.
So it's a typical studio thing.
Yeah. So I think the HD one is using their pocket sensor, and the 4K is the 1-inch.
And it's only $2,000.
Yeah, it's $2,000 for the HD one and $3,000 for the 4K.
Yeah.
The 4K though I think is not as ready.
4K
not as
at
ready yet.
1-inch must be really bad in low light.
So 1-inch
Yeah,
4K.
that's only in a studio, right?
It's like
in a studio, who's really, I mean...
True, yeah.
You're going to be lighting at
Right.
100
HD.
ISO, yeah.
Right.
And
So
you're
it's
going
not
to shoot
a
in
huge
HD
deal.
at a studio,
Yeah.
at least for the foreseeable future.
Right.
and it's like the what's it called? You mentioned it before, the AX300 or
AX100.
100 from Sony
the
is
Sony handy camera.
It's a nice 4K
Yeah.
camera with those very small sensors,
Right.
which is good in daylight, but as soon as it gets dark, it's really, really
Right.
noisy, of course.
Blackmagic is going to sell 1 billion of those iPad cameras. Though.
I think this one could be really popular in studio
it
setups.
will be absolutely popular.
Yeah.
Small productions and public access and all those places that
Yeah.
they want something that's done. They don't have to do anything.
And it ties in very neatly with all their
With all
hardware
their
products.
stuff, all their stuff.
Yeah,
right.
but you must have seen some of the stuff as being, there's a lot of irate people right now online. Now, these irate people, the people who bought the previous camera, so they're like, why you brought out more cameras when you haven't fixed the ones we've bought? And it's understand. I own 2. I've got the pocket camera and the 4K, and I want them to be, especially my 4K. I'm like, come on, guys, what is all these strange things going on with my image? I want that fixed because it's a nice little camera for the money.
It's like maybe the hardware manufacturers and the hardware designers are ahead of the software engineers.
And it's the same issue as we had last year. They announced the pocket camera and the 4K before most people had got the cinema
Everyone
camera.
had
Right.
ship rate.
And now most people still don't have the 4K,
Yeah.
and they've announced these new ones, and it's confusing. It's also they're competing with themselves.
Right, but
Which is
but it's
strange.
all disruptive and incredible, and they just haven't gotten the. But a lot of camera manufacturers have run into.
It's coming out in
that
July,
issue.
though.
Right.
It's coming out in July.
Question mark.
That's what it says, July.
It's coming out in
Question
July.
mark.
Well, which July? Did they say the year?
Yeah, didn't
That's
say
what they
the
said
year.
last.
No. Yeah.
But what are we still missing from all the current Blackmagic cameras? I mean, we still can't format
It's the basic-
cards,
it's
right?
basic.
Formatting the card is I think one of the biggest thing that you need formatting. It's really so hard to go out and shoot something, and then you can't format the card.
Right.
You just have to bring tons of cards, which is not a good way to work.
So the Ursa I saw doesn't use SSDs, right? Is it?
Oh yeah, what is it?
The
recording?
Ursa uses CFast
Yeah, that's cool.
2.0.
So it's compact flash.
So it's the same as the Amira.
Okay, but
Same
they're
cars.
they're
Those are
expensive right
expensive.
now. Yeah,
Right now.
Right, so
It's just
that's-
one company who makes them.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's what you lose with the new camera is that instead of getting the cheap SSDs, which are dirt
Oh,
cheap,
yeah.
Yeah.
now the cards are a little more expensive.
It's like the thing
So-
you want for the Odyssey 7Q is you want off-the-shelf
Right,
SSDs.
right.
But you don't use off the shelf, right?
You have to use their
You have to
ones,
use
and
theirs.
they're expensive.
Right.
And it,
Well,
it's,
but-
it subsidises the cost of their.
Right.
It actually keeps their recorder price down.
And Red found that problem too when they let you originally with a Red 1 use CF cards, and everybody had reliability problems,
Right.
so they went to their
And
super
Blackmagic-
expensive
Blackmagic's
proprietary
also had-
kinds,
yeah,
and then
reliability,
they're
yeah.
expensive, but at least they work.
Right.
And it's interesting, we're talking about cameras, we haven't really even. Did Red come out with anything?
They did. Yeah.
Well, they announced an Elm tool. I saw that.
What?
Yeah.
An Allen
I
key?
went there, an
I
Allen
actually-
key. I
yeah.
asked them
Well,
what's
excuse me?
new,
See,
and
because they have so many strange bolt sizes all on all their stuff, I actually think that's the most useful thing they've announced.
Yeah.
Is the multi-tool.
we literally
serious?
With all
went
their-
there.
Yeah, a multi-tool with all their stuff on it. And actually you can store extra.
Is it cross-compatible with other
Blackmagic
companies?
announces
I'm sure it is, yeah.
Red
Fantastic.
announces.
And there's
multi-tool.
actually like tapped holes. There's like quarter 20.
We were
3/8.
thinking, doing about a news post about this morning, because I went there and asked what's new, and the first thing this guy said is, we have this new Allen key.
That's yeah.
It's good. They got
So
an electric.
Scarlet
They got electric
Dragon.
screwdriver
Oh,
coming
Scarlet
out soon.
Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're selling
Which is gonna
a
be
Scarlet
upgradable.
Dragon. They're selling a Scarlet
You
Dragon.
just buy
A
it.
Scarlet Dragon.
Yes.
Yeah.
So body
But
only.
it's
with nothing.
14 and a half,
It's
right?
14.
Yeah.
Yeah. 14,500.
But if you originally bought a Scarlet for 10 and the upgrade price is 9,
right. But you still.
You had a Scarlet, right?
I have a Scarlet.
You still have it?
I have
How
it.
much is Scarlet worth as it right now? The original
Like to
one.
sell it?
On second hand.
7,500.
Scarlet stuff.
Secondhand,
well, so
really?
that's the thing about red stuff. Red stuff keeps its value.
Right.
It really does.
Have you shot a lot with the Scarlet?
I haven't. I sub-rented it a lot,
Yeah.
so it paid itself off.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
But I didn't get a chance to use it. On my short, we were going to use it, and then a friend's Epic, the DP's friend's Epic became available.
It's a good problem.
So my Scarlet just sat in the corner, unloved.
Not even a little B camera.
Not even, no, we didn't have the personnel.
But how rental prices
the
for
lighting
red stuff
equipment.
are
Yeah.
quite is not so good, are they? I mean, there are
No.
a lot of people renting out
I
red.
just had it at the beginning. At the beginning, it went out a lot because not a lot of people had it, and now it sort of trickles out, and I just sit back not knowing what to do with it. So it keeps getting a little bit, But no, I think it's a really hard thing to do as a red owner. Like, do you upgrade? Do you upgrade halfway? Do you upgrade all the way?
Yeah.
Do you sell it and cut your losses?
Right.
There are still things that they do that nobody else does, namely compress raw.
Right.
It's the best. It's the best draw by far.
The biggest thing that I want to see is the new color science because they had a new
Right.
camera.
So that's what they announced is the Dragon Color.
As
And
well
also-
as the
so
Allen
the
key
real,
set.
Yeah, right.
Is it like that multi-tool you get at
It comes with
Walgreens?
it. Comes
Yeah,
with
it's
it.
I
just
like
like
that.
that.
Mr.
Yeah.
Seven Hands.
So
I love that.
Is the video they released shot on Dragon Color?
No, that video has nothing to do with their
That's
Dragon
just
cameras
the
at all.
Scarlet
Yeah,
thing.
Scarlet and Epics. But so the thing that they actually really announced is a 4K module that sends out 4K out of 3G SDI ports, and it sits on the back of the camera.
So you
That's-
can skip that awful
can skip-
R3D and
right,
record it
right,
uncompressed
right.
cinema
So well,
PNG.
Right, but so now it's
Great.
like, so now you can actually monitor in 4K if you wanted to.
That's fair
which
enough.
you
That's
couldn't
actually
do
makes
before.
sense,
So
yes.
that's.
But what monitor are you really going to? I mean, you need focus aids for
Well, you-
4K.
Yeah, no.
You're
but
going to be
it's-
using
Right.
big those. It's
Right.
for directors, really, isn't it?
No, but that was one of
Video
the.
Village.
But that was one of the biggest things is that you
So-
could only do HD out of this.
Yeah.
Out of these cameras that all they care about is resolution.
Right.
So it's like
So they announced the color science.
they announced
released
like
it?
they announced like
because it was announced years ago.
well no it's actually coming out like soon. I believe the firmware update. No, the firmware update's like today or tomorrow, or they were trying to post it. I think.
But they didn't have a demo of this new thing.
I didn't actually see it yet.
So what about we have AJA with a camera now? So another post-production company like Blackmagic coming up with a
Yeah.
camera. You see it?
Yep.
How is it?
It's nice. It's pretty light. I mean, it's like probably a quarter of the weight of
It
the
reminded me
Blackmagic
of the
camera.
Atom camera. Like
Yes.
the
It's
format.
like the Iconoscope. Similar to
Iconoscope,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
so it has
4K.
a built-in shoulder mount 4K.
Yes, 4K.
But like
Probably
the
the
complete
yeah.
opposite from the Blackmagic camera with a really tiny screen. Like just it's just to check the image, I guess. Like to
Yeah, no,
are you recording something?
Yeah, it's not for. Yeah, you need
Yeah.
some sort of monitor viewfinder. Or,
It will be $9,000, I
it's
think.
9,000 with the body only, and I think they give
That's
you
Iconoscope
They give you the
price.
handle.
Yeah.
They give you the
But
handle.
Super
and
35.
It
the
looks
shoulder
like it
mount.
as well.
Super 35.
Is-
Same sensor.
It's much better build quality.
Probably the same sensor as Blackmagic because it's the same
So,
size.
and they're competitors, right? Because they're similar sizes.
Yeah, they are competitors.
I mean, they don't have their own
Blackmagic
sensor
is
development, so they must
cheaper.
source it somewhere.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
very likely they have the same sensor. yeah.
I mean,
So is
that's not
AJ
necessarily. It doesn't have to be from Blackmagic. Look, the
Yeah.
Nikon D800 is a Sony sensor, so
No, right.
these are
Right.
sourced
No,
from
so
other
yeah, I
people.
think both of them get their sensor from the same
Radio
same
Shack.
place.
So is AJ just not happy the fact that they announced their brand new camera in Blackmagic?
I
It has
think
a similar
really
one
though,
at a lower price point.
Those two companies, I mean, they really are in their own world with a lot of
Yeah.
their stuff. So when they develop stuff, they get tunnel vision. They kind of don't really see what a lot of other people are doing.
But I mean, the thing is with Blackmagic, for example, that the feedback they're getting from everybody is very there. It's there if they want to listen to it,
Right.
and that's what's so
Right.
surprising when the 4K did come out, that it was the cinema camera with a 4K sensor,
Right.
and it didn't change anything.
Right.
Listen to anything. Is it so? The
But
frame
that's
rates.
the new one. It's the ergonomics.
But
The
so
the
the
audio
new-
they've done it
connectivity.
now.
So the new cameras,
You
they
almost
listen to,
you just
they
wish
listen,
they'd just
right.
not bother with the 4K, the production camera. You almost say just wait. It's just like
Yeah.
just stop releasing. Just do some R&D, and make it great.
But they want to make a splash every year. right?
Every year you
So-
gotta get that splash. You know,
But it makes you want to stop buying
websites
cameras.
cover it and stuff. you
I
know,
think.
you
Well, I
get
think the
press.
biggest thing with Blackmagic is what else can we do, and how cheaply can we do it?
How
That's
about-
really
yeah,
format
that's
cards?
really what it is.
Right, how can we
Well,
disrupt?
format? Yeah.
And my
That's something they could
my
do.
key thing is
Something
not
they could
the
do.
format I can get away with. I can have a MacBook Air or something with me that can format stuff. It's the amount of time remaining
Yeah.
on your card is
Right.
the key thing that screws me every time.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
have that.
You can't have that cut
You can
in
have
the
to
middle of an interview because you had no idea.
I guess if you knew time code wise how much time you could kind of do it.
You just have to
That's
have
just
you have
ridiculous.
you have a
Yeah.
time you have a timer
Yeah.
on. You have your iPhone out. You have a timer.
So what do you do now if you're looking to buy a camera. There's just so
Don't.
many, and
There's
they're so
so
good.
many.
Don't do it.
And
Stick with
Don't
what you
buy
got.
one.
whatever you come out with is going to be out of date a year from now, right?
The funny thing is, I think a lot of the new ones are like of the newcomers are really bad in low light, and that kills most cameras for me.
It's
Like
going the
Blackmagic,
opposite way.
AJA. Yeah, it's
More
very
pixels
strange.
and- but some of them are upgradable at least. So
I wonder. I'm really looking forward to testing the new Panasonic Varicam because they haven't had a super 35
other
millimeter
new
camera in a
Right.
very long
Forever.
time. I think the last one that came close was the AF101.
Well, yeah, but they never had Super 35. They,
No,
they
true.
was
Micro
Micro
Four
Four Thirds. And
Right.
I mean, they announced it last year, and this year, obviously, it's. I mean, they still have it in a box or something. You can't. Yeah, well, you can use it, but you can't use any of the buttons. You can't change any settings.
Yeah.
what
on the-
codec is it? Because DVC Pro is always their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a proprietary?
Yes, they have their own codec.
Well,
They do.
codecs
Yeah.
were always the biggest strength of Panasonic. I think. I mean,
Yeah.
their codecs are amazing. The Ultra AVC Ultra
Right,
is really
right.
really good.
Right.
But they haven't had the camera that matched it.
Right.
So now it's let's see how the image
And
is.
that was tough because the DVX was the beloved
Yeah.
camera
I
that
still
started
have
this
mine.
whole thing in a lot
Right.
of ways. Yeah,
it's still worth money.
it's,
Also then-
it's a great camera.
Right.
And then they
I
just
will
didn't
never
follow
sell it.
up.
This is
Right.
treasure.
Is
After
it the
the
B or
HDX.
the original?
I have the A.
I have the A.
Yeah,
The B was nicer.
Yeah.
yeah.
But so then they have ProRes also on the Varicam, don't they?
That's
I think so, yeah.
Something that-
that's
yeah.
the key thing. That's the
Yeah.
codec they're going for now. ProRes
Right.
Yeah.
makes sense. 'cause
I think
it's like
Panasonic.
Arri do.
I mean,
Yeah.
Panasonic has one advantage over Canon. Like Sony, they provide solutions, like
Right.
the whole thing, and Sony is very much into their own solution
Right.
thing. I mean, they're opening up a
Yeah.
little bit more, and Panasonic was always more open about
Right.
other standards. So
Is
that's
it,
nice
is it
to
something
see.
to worry about that everybody's using ProRes? Like, isn't it something that Apple owns and one day they could be less interested
No,
in
Apple
it?
actually, Apple I think doesn't
They open
charge
sourced it.
license fees for it.
They you have to go through a stringent
Yeah.
thing before that. What the Convergent Design problem had,
Right.
why I couldn't release it for ages, is they have to approve it.
Mhm.
Same with Thunderbolt ports. Yeah.
I always felt strange that using ProRes though on either a Windows computer or to edit in an Adobe product,
Right.
or just like it seems like it's
Right.
this Apple's codec and everybody's kind of
The problem is
using
it's
it.
not a modern codec anymore. They haven't
No.
they haven't done any development on that for years
It's
now.
not 64-bit.
So
is
it's not up to
120
what it
bit.
should be. You know, it could be the same quality at a smaller data rate.
Mm.
But let's see where it all leads. So should we wrap this up? What do you expect from NAB? Anything additional you haven't seen yet, or
I'm sure it's all been on their site. Just go to nofilmschool.com and it's all there. Since we've been talking, they've had 84 new posts.
this being one of them?
But
Yeah.
seriously, I mean, it is
We're
literally.
posting
it's a
right
place
now.
like,
We're posting right now.
It's mine. It's if I want to go to World News, I go to the BBC, whatever. And if I want to go to what's going on in cameras and stuff, I go to your site because it's
True.
always going to be
the
covered.
BBC of
Great work.
Yeah, it's great. And this morning when I just went there and see what's going on. Much easier.
Yeah.
You go on Twitter, you go on Facebook and see all these rumors. I'll just go to your site and
our
see.
site. We actually crashed before we even got to the press room.
Yeah, when I posted the
You,
Blackmagic.
you posted the that
Yeah.
Blackmagic thing, and I'm walking up to NAB, and I go, "Our site's already down."
Yeah, right.
We haven't even
It's
got.
great
there
things
yet.
happen though, isn't it?
Right.
So yeah, you probably have seen this video on NoFilmSchool.
Oh, Cinema 5D
So-
as well. Is very good. Sorry, Cinema 5D is also very good. I forgot.
That's okay.
Dot
No,
net.
no,
I
film
got
school
it
is
wrong.
Yeah, I don't do
Dot
that.
net.
I'm terrible with the news. I'm just terrible.
Don't chase the news.
I don't do
It's
the news. I
thankless.
can't be doing it. It's too much work.
Someone's always fast.
You
It's
need
a
to
lot
have
of work and no sleep.
You need to have somebody. I mean, I was writing my post, which covered a lot of stuff until 2 in the morning.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
didn't cover any of the stuff that hadn't been announced like the Blackmagic. I just said if Blackmagic bring out another camera, then I'll be really annoyed.
We were playing around with all the doodads of trying to get a production video camera working when you're dealing with DSLRs. And it's always the same problem.
Yeah.
So that to me is the next thing. It's like you can't just have cameras that look great on a spec sheet and are very small, but you
Right.
have to actually be able to plug in a microphone.
Right.
Yep.
Well, I think
You
that's the
know,
biggest
see how
thing
much
about
time
the
you
new
have
stuff that's been
remaining.
announced.
Specs.
Yeah.
It's like people read
Yeah.
specs, and I get asked, "What do you think about this camera?" Like, and I've just been a spec sheet come out, and nothing. I don't care. I don't know because you can't base anything on it. You look, for me, the key thing was the Canon C300 when that was announced.
True.
It was like meh.
Everybody was mad. And it's
Yeah,
like, it's
and then you've
everywhere
got to
now.
use it,
Yeah.
and it was
you can't
great.
get it at
Yeah.
my house. 'Cause
I
they-
never
or
had
they
a camera
can't.
that got me so many jobs, and it's
Yeah.
out there all
It's
the
easy.
time.
Yeah.
When
Just
I don't
works
use it,
great.
somebody else rents
Right.
it from me.
Absolutely.
It's everywhere.
And then you see the other cameras which have these really, oh my god, look, does this. Oh, it's got global shutter. And then you use it and like, oh, I can't use it.
Yep.
is it?
Usability.
It's the key thing is a camera which doesn't get in the way of.
That's the
I don't
biggest
want to
thing.
be on
Yeah.
a shoot where I'm thinking about the camera. Is it okay? Am I this going to be a problem? I just want to carry. It just works.
This is why people love Alexa. Just gets out
Yes,
of the way.
it's just.
Does what
It's a
you need.
beast.
Yeah.
It's a beast.
Right.
It's the most reliable thing out there.
I think that's a nice conclusion, guys. So, yeah, have fun over the next few days at NAB, and we'll see each other on the show floor, I guess.
We
Thanks
shall.
for having us.
Or later for a drink.
Or later for a drink, yeah. So see you tomorrow for the next show, and with just another word of thank you to our sponsors, B&H, who supplied all the equipment we use here, Zeiss, Vitek Videocom, and Tools on Air. Thank you, and see you next time.